On March 27, 2022, during the Academy Awards, the world watched a man who had always played the friendly hero walk onto the stage and strike a comedian. In seconds, Will Smith went from Hollywood's golden boy to the focus of a scandal. He won an Oscar minutes later, but by the time he left the theater, the Academy had banned him from all of its events for 10 years and called his behavior unacceptable. Projects were paused and sponsors pulled back as fans debating whether they could forgive him. That slap didn't just change public opinion, it showed how quickly a reputation can fall. To understand just how fragile fame can be, let's look at a chef who lost everything because of one word. Paula Deen built a culinary empire by charming viewers with her southern accent and butter-laden recipes. She launched restaurants, starred in Food Network shows, and became a household name. At the height of her fame, she had multiple cookbooks, cookware lines, and endorsement deals that were bringing in millions. In 2013, her empire collapsed. During a deposition in a discrimination lawsuit, Deen admitted under oath that she had used a racial slur years earlier. News of the admission spread instantly. The Food Network refused to renew her contract, and major retailers pulled her products from their shelves. Deen released apology videos and begged for forgiveness, but advertisers abandoned her. Within weeks, the woman who once seemed untouchable vanished from television. She returned to small projects and a stint on Dancing with the Stars, yet her name never recovered the shine it once had. And if you thought a single admission was career-ending, wait until a single tweet destroys a sitcom legend. In 2018, comedian Roseanne Barr brought back her hit sitcom Roseanne after a 2-decade hiatus. The revival was a rating juggernaut, one of ABC's most watched programs, until Barr took to social media. In May, she tweeted that Valerie Jarrett, a former advisor to Barack Obama, looked like a cross between the Muslim Brotherhood and an ape. Her words ignited fury. ABC Entertainment president Channing Dungey called the tweet abhorrent and canceled the show the same day. Barr deleted the post and apologized, but hundreds of cast and crew members lost their jobs, and the network replaced the series with a spin-off minus its star. Overnight, Barr went from comeback queen to pariah. If you think that's dramatic, the next story shows how a 2-minute rant can end an iconic career. Michael Richards spent years making audiences laugh as Cosmo Kramer on Seinfeld. In 2006, during a stand-up set, hecklers got under his skin and he snapped.
Years ago, you had your own tied down with a fucking fork up your ass!
The next day, Richards apologized on David Letterman's show and said he had lost his temper. But the damage was done. TV and film offers evaporated, and he all but disappeared from entertainment. In a few minutes on a comedy club stage, he turned a beloved persona into a cautionary tale about anger. This wasn't the last career to implode from an onstage scandal. Next, we'll examine a rising actor who watched his opportunities disappear after disturbing allegations.
Armie Hammer seemed poised for superstardom after roles in The Social Network and Call Me By Your Name. In January 2021, anonymous posts on social media accused him of violent fantasies involving cannibalism and BDSM. Several women accused him of misconduct. Hammer denied the claims, but the fallout was immediate. He exited the film Shotgun Wedding, was recast in a TV series, and was dropped by his talent agency and publicist. A woman later accused him of assault during a press conference. In a 2024 podcast, Hammer described the scandal as a career death and said it destroyed his ego and professional life. Prosecutors eventually declined to press charges due to insufficient evidence, but the actor has yet to return to mainstream projects. His collapse shows how allegations, proven or not, can act like a neutron bomb on a career. But he wasn't the only star to see billion-dollar contracts vanish after offensive remarks. For years, Kanye West, now known as Ye, was a billionaire rapper, producer, and fashion mogul. His Yeezy partnership with Adidas and deals with Gap and Balenciaga made him one of entertainment's richest artists. In October 2022, he began posting anti-Semitic messages and wearing a shirt emblazoned with a white supremacist slogan. The backlash was swift. Adidas severed its partnership, declaring his comments unacceptable, hateful, and dangerous, and ending production of Yeezy products. Balenciaga, Gap, and his talent agency also cut ties. Forbes estimated Ye's net worth plunged from about $2 billion to $400 million because the Adidas deal, valued at roughly $1.5 billion, collapsed. Ye vowed to create his own Ye ecosystem, but he now faces lawsuits and has struggled to release new music. His example shows that even immense wealth cannot shield a star from the consequences of hate. And before we wrap up, let's revisit the slap heard around the world to see what happened next. Will Smith spent decades cultivating an image as Hollywood's most likable leading man. On Oscars night 2022, he laughed along with the audience until Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. Smith walked onto the stage and struck Rock in front of millions. Back in his seat, he shouted at Rock to keep his wife's name out of his mouth. Minutes later, he accepted the Best Actor award. After widespread condemnation, Smith resigned from the Academy and apologized. The board then banned him from all its events for 10 years and said his behavior was unacceptable and harmful. Projects were shelved and endorsements wavered. Although he has started to rebuild his career with new movies and songs, the slap showed how one lapse in judgment can tarnish even the most polished image. It also brings us to the bigger picture. These stories share a common thread: the speed at which fortunes change. Paula Deen's empire crumbled after she admitted to using a racial slur. Roseanne Barr lost her show because of a single tweet. Michael Richards' anger ended his acting career. Armie Hammer's alleged fantasies and misconduct cost him roles and representation. Kanye West's anti-Semitic comments destroyed billion-dollar deals. And Will Smith's slap resulted in a decade-long ban and damaged reputation. Fame can vanish overnight, not because of a gradual decline, but because of a single misstep amplified by cameras and social media. These meltdowns may be entertaining to watch, but they remind us that words and actions have consequences no matter how powerful you are. On the world's biggest stages, a single word, tweet, or slap can undo years of work. Fame is a fickle friend. As quickly as it crowns you, it can just as quickly fade away. It's a hard lesson for celebrities and an even harder one for the fans who have to reconcile their admiration with the reality of the people behind the spotlight.